Welcome to Sheep School. Today we are shearing ewe lambs. You'll see them here behind me. Just going to run them into the shed. We have a special guest from YouTube is coming to do a bit of shearing. We'll have a look. Let's go. And just get them into the shed here. Can be a bit tricky. These lambs are hard enough to move on their own, but they're going okay. So just get them in. Going to try and get them emptied out. Makes things a little bit easier when the lambs aren't full of grass. I have Karol from YouTube back with me today. I have a couple of hundred ewe lambs for shearing. Going to shear the ram lambs as well that I'm keeping for breeding stock or on as hoggets.
I brought the good weather back with me.
Yeah, fair play to them. I think
it's been raining since I left, practically.
It was a good day when we done the last video.
It was a great day,
it's rained pretty much since.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've Karol here. Archie's back as well. He's mad to go here. He's resting with a lamb, and we've Robbie here on the job as well. So yeah, shall we get a bit of a start, and we'll have a chat with you along the way. I have a problem with them jumping through the barriers. That was a bit of a fault when I was making the barriers, that hoggets and lambs can jump through them, but it was kind of designed for sheep, not really for lambs. So sometimes I put hurdles along. These ratchet straps work well. They worked well for the hoggets when I was getting them ready for the sale. So you'll see I'm using this kind of walk-through trough as a collecting pen for the old lambs. But the problem is they fit to jump out through here. So I'm just going to stick another strap on here. Now, so just use this wee strap to fix it to the end of here. Karol and Archie are just set up, but I have a little run to do. I have to leave them. I have them going. Have to leave them. I have a little girl here, Enya, that some of you will be familiar with. And Ada. Enya's just starting school. She's a big girl now. So here's all the lambs here ready to go for shearing, Pops. And Enya, my little girl, is starting school. And Ada is going to school. This will be her third day back. So we're just going to get in. Are you all excited? Are you saying hello? Hello. Big girl starting school. Alright, here's Mommy here to give her a lift. Still a bit camera shy. We'll get you loaded up, alright? I'll see you down at school. I'm going to go down as well.
Gotta watch these. Pretty valuable.
Yeah. I have lost a few with some rougher lads. It's not great for me selling sheep.
It's a bit of a nasty surprise to pull on spring. First one of the day now, just warming up.
So we're just using the walk-through trough here as a kind of a forcing pen up to the trailer. So it's just handy to swing the gate around. So we've only ran in about 50 lambs for the lads because it's actually forecast for a really good day. There's quite a heavy dew today. So a heavy dew generally means a good day, but there's quite a bit of moisture on the sheep, so they're still kind of wet. So what we've done is we've run in 50 into the shed and we've kept them with the balance out here. So by the time the lads have the 50 in here done, these should have dried off. It's turning into a lovely day here. I'll just give you a view of it. You'll see some of them are a little bit dirty. You might have seen that in the last video where I was weaning the lambs and we've done a fecal leg sample and they come back quite low, but the dose seems to have dried them up, which is hard to understand. Even though the worms was quite low, the count was low, It's a tricky one to get your head around. I don't fully understand it myself, but the dose definitely seemed to work anyway. It is improved and the lambs are fine. They've done a good drive. There's a lamb showing signs of maggots. We'll maybe get a look at her after, just to have a chat about why I shear the lambs. There was a couple of years I used to shear them when I started farming, and then as the numbers went up I talked myself out of it, that I said it was kind of maybe a waste of money, but I've started to realise that it's probably the best money I'll spend, because these lambs will go off to winter graze and some will be a little bit rough, scrubby, briars. They're inclined to get stuck in it, especially in the winter months when they're getting tight for grass and they're stuck in the hedges. So shearing, the number one reason I shear them for is to stop them getting caught in briars. The second reason, as you might have seen if you've been watching the channel, the first and second video I done, the first one was feeding lambs in the shed on quite a bit of meal. The second one was the ewe lambs and the difference, where the ewe lambs were clipped and were onto good grass and had done a really good drive and were all factory fit. So it just kind of makes you realise that maybe the couple of euro to shear them was better money spent than a bag of meal in the shed, which the ram lambs would have got. So it only works if you have grass. I find shearing the lambs, it'll only work if they've good shelter and good grass. You have to have two things for at least a month after they're clipped, because I think the thinking is when they're clipped they're a little bit colder, they eat a bit more to keep warm. When they're eating more they'll perform a little bit better. Definitely see the lambs doing a better thrive after they're clipped. We're rattling away here. I'd say you've what? You have 50 done? 60?
Oh, I've around 50 done. Archie is 45 done, I suppose, have you?
Good man.
Good man.
He's working away anyway. Something I just want to show you here. First lamb I found. Have you found anything with maggots yet?
There was one with a wee patch, but I seen nothing. It's like had a bit and lost them or something.
Yeah. Well, I just see one here. I'm just going to show you. First lamb that I can find that is pretty obvious case of maggots here. Car's just pulling out this maggoty one here. We'll see what's going on. Right there. Little bit of damage.
Yeah.
Not major though, was it?
But they're gone. Good advertisement for Click, is it?
Well, I don't know. They shouldn't really hatch if it was Click.
Even.
Yeah. I've actually had no maggots whatsoever on any lamb, so
yeah.
that's really the first one I've seen.
And they didn't really.
Yeah, no major. I wouldn't have set her back too much.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Lovely. You'll see Robbie's just using this gate. We're using the walk-through pen as a kind of a collecting pen. It's working kind of well at the minute. It's kind of a long race that leads up to the trailer here, Karol's trailer. Couple of dirty bums. I would suspect more maggots there. Something about these sheep shearers. Dodgy bumpers. Front bumper held down with tech screws and screws. The only thing he's missing is a bit of duct tape like Cammy. The lads are just rattling away here behind me. It's ferociously warm. You might see it in my face. It's 22, 23 degrees. We're not used to that. We had that back in May and June, but it's been a terrible summer. It got very warm. Indian summer is what we call it here. Kids go back to school. You see Enya starting back there. Always a good week, first week of September. So myself and Karol were just debating, are we wise shearing these yo lambs? We're definitely not doing it for the value of the wool anyway.
No, certainly not.
Well, I can't get anyone to take my wool. I can't even give it away for free.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Yeah, I've still all the wool that you took off. I've 2 ton of wool sitting about.
There is people buying it. I'll get you something to take away because you have good white wool too.
Yeah, you should be clean enough. It's clean enough wool.
It's the top product. It's the top wool you can get, really.
But we're just, as I say, we're definitely not doing it for the profit of the wool. But we're kind of just chatting through what's the benefits of it. And I suppose farmers all have different reasons. What are you finding is the main reason?
The main reason we're doing it for our own, but what I found with farmers too, is that you're looked after for the winter in terms of they won't get caught in briars, they're cleaner and stuff like that. But the briars is probably a big one because they will get stuck. That's a nuisance when that happens. Well, the amount of time it takes, and
3 or 4 days stuck in briars and they've eaten the circle around, like they're just going to melt away. Like.
Yeah, they do.
You set them back a few weeks. So.
Yeah, and then you have to look at them a lot more.
That's right.
In the winter time, you kind of want to put sheep away and not forget about them, but you don't want to be up their arses looking at them every day.
As well as that, I found when a lamb gets well caught in briars, and you need snips to get them out, and you're all torn and the lamb is a mess. You don't be long making your mind up that shearing is handy. Like.
It's time. It's the same when I talk to, when you have the debate with people whether or not to click sheep. It's like you need to put value on your time, especially if you're like me or you and you're working off farm. Like the actual, when you're going farm and you have to be efficient with your time.
Yeah, you haven't much time for pampering them. And you need to be going the right direction all the time.
Yes.
Because when they're going backwards, it's costing you money at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So people see click and shearing as being a cost, but at the same time, it's money well spent, I find.
Yeah, it is. Because you're off the farm making. You're not making huge money farming. You're off the farm making money that way. So you don't want to have problem. Like there'll be enough of problems with them without easily avoidable problems like that. Like them getting maggots, like them getting caught in briars. That's another one of those things, I think.
And do you find like when you shear them, like as horned lambs, you have quite a few of?
Quite a few of, yeah.
Do you find they'll thrive a little bit better when they're clipped as well? Or?
Like they seem to do good. It's just it's hard to say because the ones that have wool on them seem to do good too if they're put to good ground and they're dosed and they're well looked after and you do all the normal things that you're supposed to do as a farmer. So it's a weird one. And then any studies that I've heard of, chaga studies, and a friend of mine done a study too for her final thesis and didn't seem to find much of a difference, but the lamb seem to do well but there's just that thing. It's hard to control for, isn't it?
Well, funny you mention. I know the studies in lambs and growth rates hasn't proven much of a benefit, but they've definitely proven a benefit in shearing yos.
Right.
That yos will have lambs at weaning time off sheep that were clipped are a kilo
winter
heavier.
Shearing, is it?
Yeah, winter shearing your yo. She'll have a lamb a kilo heavier at weaning time.
Yeah.
So it definitely makes a difference in a yo and her intake.
Yeah. Well, so, she'll eat more anyway. Isn't that kind of the main reason?
I think that's the thing.
As you were saying, if you clip them, but then if you put the feed in front of them and you farm them properly, then it'll be a benefit. But the main reason is they're easier looked after.
So I think this is the last fill of the pen for the boys. Just going to get these in here now. You'll see some quite dirty bums. It's great to get them cleaned off, get the wool off them. Leaves them that bit tidier. Always one. So I've just spotted a second sheep here. All the hallmarks of maggots. Yeah, quite a bit of bare skin there. So we'll see what she's like. Karol will be shearing her now in a second. Quite fair. Maybe another reason there for shearing. None of this late season fly strike or maggots. So we'll just see the extent of the damage now in a minute. Not too bad from the outside, but you don't really know till you get the wool off. But it just kind of goes to show the click isn't bulletproof. It's been on since the middle of May. So it's about 15, 16 weeks, I'd say. So just not getting the full 19 weeks, but it was actually worth last season with the heat, the sun.
Yeah, it's a wee lot of it.
Dirty enough.
Yeah, still haven't done any major, yeah. Wait a little bit of. There was a few there, right?
Yeah. Good man.
Not anymore.
Bit of skin damage, nothing major. Might just stick a bit of blue spray on it. So if anyone watched my last video, the weaning simplified, you might have seen quite a few ears. Scabby ears. So we dosed the sheep for worms. Not sure if it was badly needed, going by the fecal egg samples. It didn't say they were too badly off for dose, but they have dried up considerably since that. Not as much scouring. The remains of the dirty bums, the boys are clipping them off here. It's another good reason for shearing. It's tidying them up. But scabby ears, they got a mineral drench that day. So I'll just give you a look at a few ears here now. They've actually cleaned up nicely. The last day when we had them in the race, every second lamb had scabby ears and was quite bad. Quite clean. Something I'm just actually after noticing here. No scabby ears whatsoever. Could you put it down to the OV trip? I'm not sure. It definitely didn't do them any harm. So my little girl Enya is back from school. She's had her nap. You have a good day at school? Yeah. Hi. Hi. That's the girl. So she had a good day at school. She says she'll come back tomorrow. That's a good sign. Ice cream break here. I'm just finished mine. Wolfed it down. It was lovely. Archie's still on his. Robbie is the right idea. He's been working hard now, putting him through his paces. So much for retirement, Robbie. So I have a sheep in the trailer here. She is the one that was at the tail end of the last video. Myself and Karol done the shearing video. She just appeared from behind a ton bag when we were chatting about the shed at the end of the video. No idea where she come out of, but I couldn't face into her. I said I was going to clip her with me wee electric shears, but I just couldn't face it, so I said I'd leave it for Karol. But she hasn't had maggots and she's a good coat of wool on her now, so Karol will rattle it off, leave it to him. So the wee man Noah's just arrived out, see what's going on. He's keeping a tight eye on this shear now. He doesn't know what's going on. That's the first time I've ever seen him shearing, isn't it, Noah? What do you reckon? So Noah's just a year old. We're keeping an eye on the boys. Yeah. So if you've seen the last video of stress-free weaning, this is the lamb that was at the tail end of the video with the high temperature. So that was about a week, maybe 10 days ago. He's made a full recovery. He's in good spirits again. Now I've kept him in the shed, he's been getting a little bit of meal. He's eating well, temperature's fine, so I'm confident he's going to survive anyway.
It's me that has the high temperature today.
Much tidier. I love to get them sheared. Get that woolly coat off them. You actually see what you're looking at now. Job done here. I'm just going to move across and do ram lambs over at Mother's place next. So you'll see they're going out here onto reasonably good grass. I think that's the secret. These lambs are going to be hungry now. It's getting cool at night. Good day today, 24, 25 degrees, but cool at night. They're going to eat. The heads are going to be down all the time eating, so they need good grass in front of them. So this is kind of what we're looking at here. Quite good grass. Dog is feeling the heat today, panting away, a bit like myself. Come by. Now, we're over on this other bit of ground. Karol and Archie are just clipping my ram lambs that I'm keeping on for breeders. So these will grow into hogget rams, which I'll sell next year. We'll have a look at them in a minute. But I have a staff team here assembled. Some of the boys have just came to give me a hand. So we have Donica here. Donica, what age are you?
5.
5. Bobby?
Nearly 7.
7. Oisin, what age are you?
2.
2. He's 2. And what age are you, Buster?
A big 9 months.
9 months. This is my brother Robert as well. Yeah, he did.
Mid-30s.
Yeah. Sorry, Archie. How's it coming off from Carl?
Good, yeah.
Not too bad.
Nice lambs, huh?
Not too bad. So that's the downside, the clean sheep you're looking at there. That's your purebred ram lamb.
I might have to try clean sometime.
So this is probably the major downside to clean sheep. If you had to pick one, look, every breed of sheep has a negative. This is the negative in clean sheep. It's the ram lambs. If you're running the purebred, people always talk about clean ram lambs are hard finished. The purebred lambs are definitely slower to finish. But this will give you an idea of what they're like. Look, they're a maternal breed of sheep. They're still not too bad. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make to produce very good breeding females for a slightly slower finishing ram lamb. We can sacrifice looking at them for an extra month or 6 weeks or whatever it takes to produce them breeding hoggets. And there's very little management with these lambs. They're actually quite easy to manage. They're hardy, very good in the feet. So I've only foot batted these once since they were born way back in March. And I haven't treated one lamb for a sore foot since. Had a little bit of scald back then. They're quite good now. I've no trouble with them since. So these lambs have been on just grass. They haven't seen any meal. So let me know what you think of them in the comments. It'd be great to hear from you. Bear in mind, they're a purebred, maternal breed, so they're never going to be the fanciest lambs in the world. But one thing's for sure, they're pretty hardy and not much work with them. Once I keep grass in front of them, these boys will keep growing. How are you getting on, Archie?
Okay.
Good man. What about you, Roberto?
Archie, you're not quick
We
enough.
are Rangers, mighty Rangers, we love peaking.
I get you a good one.
There's an interesting one. Archie's after pointing it out to me. So I had him retained for breeding. He's only 1 stone, 1 ball, 1 testicle.
He's
So
as good as any.
yeah, he probably would, but
Yeah.
he'll not pass inspection.
No, that's it.
So yeah, I'm going to let him on. Look, we let him on. He's fit for the factory. We'll take a few quid from him in the factory. Good lamb he is too. In the right spot.
Well, oh yeah, he knows our money in that.
Yeah.
Just do another blow there, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of easy.
That's right. Karol, what did you give me for that? Would you give me the €2? There we go.
You take 2, I'll take 2. Contractor.
Pure heart. Pure heart. Bobby here's a great job done packing the bag. Archie, you did a great job done today.
Yep.
Character building, I think we'd call it that, is it?
Yep.
How's the back?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. You're well fit for it.
I think Bobby just wants a few more spuds.
Yeah. He's doing a good thrive now.
Done alright now.
Yeah. Fair play to
The
him.
weight helps
Yeah.
there.
And Robbie, of course, done a good day's work now. He'll sleep tonight, Robbie.
Depends at the moment, that's me.
Man, Robbie. Yeah, life with the old dog yet. So the boys have about 270 lambs clipped here today. Tough day's work. Well, fair play to them now. It was warm today.
Fair play, Archie.
Yeah,
13 years of age, some boy.
13, yeah, fair play. He got a lot of respect in the last video.
The school of hard knocks.
Great to see a young lad working hard like it.
Yeah, it is.
Fair play to him. He's following his father's footsteps. So that's it for today. Thanks to Karol and Archie. If you haven't seen Karol on YouTube, check him out. YouTube as in
Yeah.
Tube, good man.
Or
yeah.
YouTube or YouTube.
Yeah, good. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a like, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.
Sub.
I will see you next time.